So this one is just a Taiwanese Oyster Pancake. In Asia there are quite a few versions of this, but this is, I think, specific to Taiwan only. And there's many different recipes, and they all use different kinds of starch. Today we are combining three different types of starch to balance the flavor and the texture. Mostly it's the texture. Different starch has different sort of properties. Firstly, we have 75 grams of sweet potato starch in 30 grams of glutinous rice flour in 70 grams of tapioca starch. This is pretty much what bubble is made of. So think of that kind of texture. Bit of pepper, 8 grams of salt, sesame oil, mix it, then water in. That's 550 grams of water. Starch is a funny thing. When you don't put in enough water, it's like quite solid. And then once you put in just that tiny bit too much, it suddenly turns to all liquidy. You mix them in little batches, so you make sure there's any like small pockets of dried starch left inside. And we can just set that aside, and we'll come back to it later. One is the baby Pak Chois. On the right, you have something called Tong Ho, or in Taiwanese it's called Tong Ho. And this is the vegetable that we will use in southern Taiwan for this dish. And in northern Taiwan, you get something like this. Not quite that. I couldn't find it in the supermarkets today, so we'll put that in the description to tell you what the exact vegetable you will use if you like from northern Taipei. We have some basil. If you can find Thai basil, even better, and some dill. Just a small amount. We'll put that in at the end. Cut them down because we're going to use a pan rather than like a completely flat cooking panel. A lot of moisture is going to collect, and I'm just chopping vegetable as small as I can, but still retain some of the texture. That way when we are frying this, it doesn't keep too much moisture. The star of today, oysters. These are much bigger oysters than they would normally use in Taiwan street vendor. Make sure they are nice and sweet. These oysters, this from Korea by the way. Miso, 75 grams of miso, spicy fermented bean paste, and that is 40 grams, 75 grams of sugar. We have 360 grams of water. The miso I use is red miso. If you can't find red miso, normal miso is fine. Just want to bring that up to gentle simmer. Make sure everything is well dissolved. And this is cornstarch with water as a thickening agent. Once this goes in, we need to keep mixing it. You'll see as it heats up, it starts to thicken. So if it's not as thick as you would like, and always add a little bit more starch and water. We never add starch directly into liquid because they come gelled and they just don't break down if you have hot water inside. So we always loosen them up in some cold water first and then pour it into liquid. to dry the oyster. And handful of vegetable. Put the lid back on for a few seconds. Turn the heat down. See the starch is all gelatinized now. Then crack the egg in. And just spread it around. Look, this is quite a fragile structure, so if you can't fold it, if you cannot flip it over all the way, don't worry. But let's see about that. Oh yeah. Turn the heat up. We can crisp up the egg. Maybe just a tiny drizzle of oil helps with that crispiness. Yeah, quite high temperatures. Okay, I'm now on medium high heat, 130 watts on the induction. And just going to turn that again.